Okay, hey everybody. Today's topic is how to keep your hair, makeup, and clothing relevant, which means just how to stay up to date. I know a lot of people feel, and I do as well, but I'm moving through it. In society today, we're just supposed to be, quietly fade into the woodwork as we age. And I don't agree with that. I like who I am. I'm the most comfortable I've been in my whole entire life with where I'm at in life. But there are some things that, make us less relevant in society. And those things are, hair, clothing, and makeup. I find with so many women that these are issues that we just kind of get stuck in our rut. And it's really easy when we get to a point in life to where we've traveled down this road so many times that we're comfortable. But it takes getting out of that rut in order to be the better and best you can be. So, because that's the whole point. We are aging and we are in better shape, taking better care of ourselves, and we're looking better than we did, I think, when I was younger and I looked at someone my age, which I'll be 60 next week, so I'm so excited. But anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about these because I've done all the research for you. So we'll just talk about and some of these issues as far as hair, makeup, and clothing. You may not have to deal with them. It may not be an issue with you, but most of the time, women that I talk to that are my age, older, a little, younger, 40s, it's kind of the common topic. So we're going to talk about, first we're going to talk about hair, because as we age, our hair changes for a good bit of women. This is an issue, especially when you go through menopause. Your hair either thins out, the texture changes, and as we go through menopause, most definitely with brows and lashes, this is a problem. Our brows thin out and our lashes just kind of tend to go away. And it's really hard because that was an issue for me I dealt with. As far as I've lost lashes, I've got allergies, but then it was getting to where I couldn't grow lashes back. My hair texture changed. I was coloring my hair and had some issues with that. And actually, that's how I actually ended up growing my hair out 6 years ago. But no one was there to kind of talk me through it or talk to me about some of these things. So it was really kind of trial and error for me. So what I'm hoping I can do is kind of help you along to where you don't have to go through that, oh my gosh, what's going on? Or, run and panic, because this is just kind of some of the things that happen as we age. So, like I said, with hair, your hair texture changes. Some of you may find that, as far as coloring goes, you can't stick with really the color that you started coloring your hair with, which I started coloring my hair the color it was when I started graying, which was like a dark brown. But if I'd have kept with that color, it would have been very hard and harsh with my skin tone, because my skin tone has changed over the years. So, and texture as well. But anyway, so what I did is I kind of lightened up, because I am a stylist and I realized that was going to be too dark for me. So I lightened my hair up. The running joke in my family got to be, my husband never knew, he had a new wife every couple months because I was always changing my hair color. And that was one thing that was so great about being a stylist. It was easy to do that. So I've been every color you can imagine: dark brown, light brown, reds. So anyway, and I eventually got to where the easiest for me to maintain was actually bleaching and toning my hair, because I had to go to this, and my daughter is a stylist, had to go to the stylist so often, to the salon, to get my hair done. And so it was like every 2 to 3 weeks. So, and that's when I eventually had issues and ended up growing my hair out, and ended up finding out that the color I was actually bleaching and toning my hair is actually the color that my hair is, which is what you see now. But, it was a process, and it took a long time, and it was, through menopause, So as we age, that's one of the things that we need to do as women to stay current, is to realize that you can't wear the color that your natural hair color was when you were in your 20s. That as we age, we need to go lighter, because if you are graying, that's what your hair is going light anyway, and your skin tone, we were created to where our skin tone matches up with what our natural hair color is. So if you're still wanting to color your hair and you're not wanting to grow your hair out, then it's always better to go lighter as we age. So, and as far as lashes and hair go, lashes and brows go, when they start thinning out, there are things that you can do to take care of them. I use a serum on my brows and on my lashes to where I do have lashes and have brow hair, although they're gray. Some of them that have grown in, I end up having to color. Instead of coloring my hair, now I'm coloring my brows. But it does help stimulate hair growth. So that's a good thing. And I know when I was losing my lashes, I had a lot of issues with my eyes. My eyes would get dry. We do have our lashes for a reason. And that's to protect our eyes from things flying into them. So thank goodness for lash strips, but then until my lashes did grow out. So there are lots of serums out in the market. Latisse was one of the very first, but there are others that are less expensive than that. So there are things that you can do for hair growth as far as your brows and your lashes go, because that's what happens as we age. We go through menopause and have those issues. And our hair, like I said, our hair thins, so you need to make sure that you use products and that you're going to a stylist that's going to help you, as your hair texture changes, to use those products and find you products that are going to fit you well and for your hair. And everybody's different. So that's one of those things that I hope you have a good stylist that's helping you go in that direction. If you've decided to grow your hair out, I am all for that as well. I think that's freedom. And again, it's not what society tells us to do. It's what we're the most comfortable and what we're the most confident with. So growing your hair out, and there are several different ways to do that. But again, realize that the texture will be different with your silver hair or whatever your natural hair color is. The texture will be different than it is with a color. I know color gave me more texture and more body, and I still have curly hair, but the tech is a little bit silkier. It's a little bit softer now than it was when I had color on it. So one of the next points we're going to address is, as far as clothing, I find that a lot of women don't really know what to wear because there is such a big issue with clothes, because we're told, oh, you can't wear that because you look like your daughter. And then what we have to choose from, a lot of it's frumpy. A lot of us have taken really good care of ourselves. And I love that we as a society are so accepting as far as size and shape and all those things, because those are important things. But it's so interesting to me because when I look at brands, you don't see a lot of people that are our age in a lot of the brands. So that's what I want to change. That's what I feel like needs to be changed, is that we need to get out there and show that where we're at in our life is an exciting time, that we still want to be fashionable. And and a lot of, like I said, a lot of people, a lot of women have spent, and men have spent their time raising their families. And what they've done is they've kind of let themselves, they've given to their family and let themselves go. And now their family's gone and they're an empty nester. Then they're going back to looking at, well, gosh, what about me? And so staying relevant is important because that's just a very, like I said, it's a personal thing. So what I want to do is we'll talk about shapes and size and all those things. But this is just basically an intro as to how to stay fashionable, how to stay current, and asking brands to make that available to us. Touch on this as far as clothing goes. Fashion I think it's so cool to where we're at right now, because basically there really aren't any rules anymore. When I was growing up, make sure you wear a slip, make sure that you don't wear white after Labor Day, all those rules. But all those have kind of been kind of kicked to the side. And basically it's, there really aren't any rules. Yes, there are guidelines for, I think guidelines for different body shapes. And, but I mean, they're just guidelines. They're not rules that everybody has to follow. And I love to where we're at right now, because you can, you choose to dress kind of how at least I look at it, I dress how I happen to feel for the day. So I think that's important too. And there's not really any rules to where, yes, there are trends that come and go, but, I always think that the most interesting people as far as the way they dress are the ones that have, classics as their foundation, but then they can mix vintage, minimalist, boho, thrift, and they've learned who they are as a person, and then they take that and mix, and they've made their style their very own. They've owned it. So I think that, like I said, there's so many avenues to shop as far as, and to choose what you wear. There's not, like I said, any set rule. There are guidelines. And I mean, if you happen to be a certain body type, you understand. I mean, I'm a curvy girl, so I understand that there are guidelines. There are certain things that I feel more comfortable in the way they're cut and they're fit because of my shape. But basically, we're free to do, that's what's wonderful. You can kind of be your own person and dress the way you'd like to dress. So I think the freedom of that, and not letting someone put you in a box and telling you how you should or shouldn't dress, it's an individual thing. And I think that's important too, is to realize who you are, what you like and what you don't like, and then to be able to move from there. And it is a process. It's, it does take a little bit of work at figuring out what you're comfortable in, and what you prefer as far as what your lifestyle, that has a lot to do with the way we dress. So, and for me, whatever I happen to feel like for that day is what I wear. Today it's extremely casual, t-shirt and a pair of khaki cropped pants. But it changes. Dress, boho. I'm classics. I'm all over the place, but I love that. I'm not hemmed in by one particular style or one particular type of fashion. I look at what's trending too. It doesn't mean that I wear everything that's on trend, but I try to pick and choose what I'm comfortable with and what I like and what I want to add to my wardrobe that's trending. So that's what's so great, like I said, about fashion. It's finding out who you are and then walking in that. And it's a process, and we'll go over that process of, how to find out what you prefer and what you like and what you're comfortable in. And again, anything that's worth doing in life, it takes a little bit of work, but I'm going to make it easy for you, because I'm going to do the work for you and show you how to do it. And then you can walk through that, and I'll be here to help you. Makeup is like technology. It is always evolving and advancing at such an exponential rate, as far as there's always new products coming out, new makeup, and to just stay current as far as checking in, wherever you purchase makeup. I'm doing the research. A lot of it's just looking and seeing what's out there. I, always will stop in at my local Sephora or Ulta and just see what they've got in new, what brands, have come out with new products, have launched new things. Always in the fall and in the spring, they'll launch new parts of their lines. And so it's always good to see what's out there as far as cosmetics go, because like I said, there's always new advancements, always new makeup. And so it's, again, staying interested in those things, because the products that are out there are wonderful. There are so many new products. And as far as, trends change, but just staying caught up with what's out there as far as skincare goes, and as far as cosmetics go, it's really important. So just checking in with the people that or even asking, hey, what's new? Show me what's current out as far as makeup, mascaras, everything in the cosmetic line, because skincare and cosmetics, it's a big industry, and there's a lot that's going on. So it's making sure that you're looking to see what brands are doing, and who's out there and what's being launched Again, like I said, spring and fall are the times that you can check in and see what's coming out. So it's always exciting to me. I love seeing what's coming out for, for the holidays and what's coming out for spring and summer. So just checking in with that. I wanted to touch on skincare too. Because of the fact that our skin tends to get dull and look flat, on top of the fact that we're losing the elasticity, and it begins to, our skin begins to get a little saggy, or because the fact that we lose that little bit of fattiness underneath the skin once we go through menopause, those things that change. It's also, our skin, like I said, gets drier and it's not as bright. So making sure that you're using skincare products that are going to help brighten up your skin, that are going to help with your skin as far as, as we age. We don't have our collagen, the way our cells reproduce, it slows down. So it's using products that are going to help slough off that skin to where you've got that fresher, you've got the newer skin underneath. Taking vitamins is also a big thing too. I am big into vitamins and, health and wellness, drinking lots of water. I take biotin for my hair and for my eyelashes and eyebrows. I'm big into taking, vitamin E, and just look into the vitamins that are best for skin and hair. You can go to a vitamin shop, or you can actually just look in the grocery store and just look for vitamins that are helpful for hair, and look at that's in there. But vitamin E, vitamin D, calcium, those are things that I just take to take care of myself, and to stay, like I said, I want to take care of the body that I have, because it's gotten me to soon to be 60, and so it's self-care is, again, a very important thing. As we age, is taking care of ourselves and making sure that we're getting the right vitamins, nutrients, staying out of the sun, those things, to where we can live the vibrant life that we want to, and that we can go and do the things that I know I made a bucket list. So I want to be able to do my bucket list, be able to start checking those things off my bucket list of things that I wanted to do once my children were grown. Things that I made a list of when my kids were little that I wasn't able to do. And I know many of y'all have probably done that too. When you've got little tiny ones running around, you're thinking life will never be to where you have the time to do those things, but you do. We do have that time now, so it's being able to do those things. And I think that in order to do those things, you have to feel the very best you can feel about yourself. And these are things that I hope will make you and help you to feel better about yourself. Again, society doesn't help us in these areas. Yes, you can look into that yourselves, but as far as, there's not a lot out there for women at this age. I know my mom, I encourage her, and she kind of follows along, this is what's new out, and she'll read, and she'll ask questions, and we'll kind of research together. And she's 83 years old, so she's interested in those things as well. And she wants to be relevant too. She wants to be seen. We all want to be seen, and we don't want to disappear. At least I don't. I'm not going to fade into the sunset. I'm going to go and be my bold self, and show that it is good to be where we're at. And it's not a scary place